You're listening to the 4-Phase Cycle Podcast with your hosts, Dr. Alex and Megan of ZESTY Ginger. If you're looking to naturally balance hormones and learn how to work with your body instead of against it, you've definitely come to the right place. As a duo of an integrative MD and a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner and best friends, we use the 4 phases of the female cycle in combination with functional lab work and mindset practices to transform the lives of the women we work with.
We also have a whole lot of fun along the way. If you're new around here, it's best to start with season 1 before jumping around and plan to roll up your sleeves. Showing up for ourselves and enjoying our lives is what good health is all about. Just a quick reminder though, this information is not intended to diagnose, manage, or treat disease. Always consult with your doctor before making changes.
Hi everybody, Alex here. It is day 18 of our Flowing with Your Cycle series. Thank you so much for being here. We are in phase 3 pretty solidly. So we're going to be talking about something that is a bite-sized topic, but one that has some roots on it. So it's like the explosion that keeps exploding, right? And today we're going to talk about presence. So a lot of what we've been talking about so far in this cycle is kind of how to set up for success, systematically moving through the actions that we need to take that set ourselves up for success in the bigger picture of what we most want to accomplish, right? And so we talked about a lot of different aspects that lead to that. And there are, in the last couple days, while there were things like, having fun, right? And what does it mean to inject more fun into the nitty-gritty day things? And then this whole concept of streamlining from a very foundational level, either streamlining the physicalness of your world or even streamlining thoughts, ideas, beliefs, those kind of processes that we have, right? While that all sounds great, people are like, yeah, I want things to be easy and I want things to be fun. A lot of times those things actually bring up pretty hefty feelings and reactions to the beliefs we hold around that. Because if we all truly believed that life was meant to be fun and easy and joyful, our life would reflect that. So clearly there's some mismatch there in terms of most of us, especially when it comes to our health, feel like we're putting in a lot of effort and not seeing the results that we want, and that is frustrating. So, how do you reconcile that with the concept of ease and fun in your life? And so that is where bringing in presence into the current moment of wherever you are and whatever you're doing can be really powerful. It's kind of the antidote to some of the anxiety that can crop up when we're doing this work, because we know we're doing the follow-up stuff because we have big goals, we have big dreams, we have big things to do in the world. All of those smaller or big beliefs that we hold around that, then bringing presence to them and allowing things to be where they are is generally helpful for getting out of our heads and going through I want it to be easy, but it's not. And in the past, it wasn't like this, therefore it can't be this in the future, right? It's all sorts of stuff. Most of us are flip-flopping between looking at the past, gathering all the data of what didn't work, what happened, that kind of stuff, and then using it to predict the future, right? And so when it comes to either health or our life, for the most part, many of us get into that fight or flight, the sympathetic mode, because we're over and over and over again telling that past to future story. This happened in the past, therefore this is going to be my future. I don't want that future, but I keep experiencing this past. Therefore, that's what my future is going to be like, but I don't want that future, right? And it's round and round and round again. It's that whether it's I want to be healthy, but nothing ever works for me. but I want to be healthy. Nothing ever works for me. That kind of cycle, then, when we interrupt it and just say, what's happening in front of us? So let's just do a little exercise. No matter where you are right now, today, think about what have you worried about today, right? Like what came up? Is it worry for what you are eating today? Are you worried about your supplements? Is there a symptom bothering you, right? So just, kind of think of it, and then we don't need to think about it more. Just acknowledge whatever that is. And then right this second, whatever you're doing, what is actually happening right now? For many of us, when we look at just this snapshot, there's actually not quite as much going on in the present moment as what we're worrying about and prophetizing and, essentially fortune telling that we narrate to ourselves. None of that, for the most part, has happened. So, when I had chronic pain, for 18 years, so yeah, this is, if you can apply it to, something that you've had for a really long time, you can apply it for anything. I mean, that it's the same process for all of this. Essentially, I could have pain right now, but also what is true is, okay, I have this sensation inside my body, but I'm sitting here. There's actually nothing really going on other than, I have my computer open in front of me, I have my phone, I have my mic. There's not a lot of threat to me currently, right? And a lot of times the same thing happens where it's like you have anxiety, and then we get anxiety about having anxiety, right? What if it comes all of a sudden and I can't handle it? But in the moment, the question is, what is happening right now? And a lot of times, even if something is going on, that event is much smaller than the bigger story of our interpretation and how it fits into our life, right? I have anxiety and I'm scared of it because nothing has ever worked. I don't think I don't deserve healing. There must be something wrong with me. That's a much bigger picture than I'm sitting here right now. My heart feels like it's beating really fast. My palms are sweaty, and I have a lot of thoughts going through my mind. That is kind of the objective look at being present to the actual physical sensations and the event of what is happening. And we can even acknowledge that we have thoughts or racing thoughts around something, but presence is the invitation to see, the person observing. Who are you that is observing the physical sensation compared to who are you with all your stories? And a lot of times we just watch the stories and the thoughts as they happen and watch them with that presence. We can begin to appreciate just how much that event is not characteristic of all of who we are. And that is super powerful. And this kind of thing can actually transform not only health, the reaction to our health, but also in other parts of our life. So let me give you an example. I used to have a lot of spotting from having severe and undiagnosed endometriosis. And I was trying really hard to heal myself, doing a lot of things. So spotting to me meant I failed. Things are still not good with my hormones. Then add on layer O, we diagnose your endometriosis, you're going into premature ovarian failure, you'll never have kids, IVF didn't work, and here you are, right? So then that added, oh, and then I'm a failure as a female, and I'm letting my husband down because he wants kids, and I'm letting the parents down because they want grandkids, and all the other stuff around that. So then when I saw spotting, then it triggered the whole mess of stuff that I had put into that bucket. So that one event then all of a sudden made me feel all sorts of ways about myself. And it, bad. It was badness. The gift of presence then, as we practice that, is the space between experiencing some sort of stimulus in your environment, so spotting, or your partner comes in looking grumpy after work, right? There's something. And then that, you seeing it, you witnessing it, and whatever it is, then has that cascade of beliefs and thoughts and whatever you've practiced thinking. Oh, he always comes home grumpy, and I've been here waiting, and he's not excited to see me. That means I'm not appreciated, or whatever it is, right? I'm making things up, but these are common things we hear. Presence gives us, at first, a split second to really see, I'm going to watch my brain have that reaction. How do I actually want to react to that, right? Because if I can be like, oh, I'm spotting. Okay. Am I in pain right now? No. Am I bleeding out and bleeding to death? No. Am I working on my health? Yes. Has anything changed today really from yesterday in the fact that I'm still healing? No, right? That then makes us feel more empowered, and then it's not as defeating, because if what you're doing isn't working, this is where people are like, oh, to hell with that diet and all those supplements, none of this works, and that person, that practitioner doesn't know what they're talking about, and I give up. Or you say, okay, I'm still on the path, this has happened, but I'm still healing, and this is the protocol that I'm doing. You just keep doing it, right? That's a very different outcome, and you get to the goal faster then, because you're not constantly kind of second guessing and doing the runaround. And the same with, we can see the grumpy face and make a decision. Do I really believe that stuff, or can I recognize this isn't about me? How can I give myself what I need, and also check in with my partner about what he needs, or whatever. That's just an example. But that is why presence with all of this stuff, it does not change, quote unquote, reality as it is, but it does allow us to make more conscious choices on what our future reality will actually be. And that gives us massive, massive power. Right? So this is also where, for a brain chemistry, and from that standpoint, there's a lot of power in that kind of thinking, and the bringing presence in, to getting us from fight or flight, the sympathetic system, to rest, digest, and heal, which, if you're on the healing journey, that's where we need to be for the great supplements that you have, and the great food that you're eating, and the mindset stuff that you're working on, that allows us to be in this state where the body actually utilizes and works on those things, right? So that calm, that ability to stay steady in the face of random things popping up, right? Lifes, and things happen. But when we are steady, that major, oh no, I'm not safe, what's going on, I'm out of control, why does this always happen to me? That gets us into the fight or flight just as rapidly as, like, we're about to get T-boned by a car. From the brain's perspective, it's all about safety. So whether it's you internally or a car speeding at you, does not matter for it. If it goes to I'm unsafe, the sympathetic system is what kicks in to alert us to that, so that we, get out of the way of that car, right? But this becomes, how do we get out of the way for these repetitive, alarming thought experiences and internal experiences that we have, and really shifting to, how do I bring that awareness in? I bring in the awareness and buy myself the time to have the response that I want. All of a sudden, the body just begins to downregulate. Why is this important in this part of the cycle? Let's make it even more tangible. The deal is that the hormones are overall at a higher level for this half of the cycle. And it's the differences between estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone out of balance to the normal relationship between those, that oftentimes sets up the symptoms of, we have cravings, we get irritable, we have PMS, we have mood swings, we get depressed, we get whatever. All of those, acne, bloating, that kind of stuff towards the end of the cycle, All of that then is determined by what's happening at the level of the brain, right? That's the success begets success. Therefore, as we go into rest, digest, and heal, it's also much easier for the body not only to continue to make the hormones at a normal level, because the brain is now on board with what that is, and also getting them safely out of the body, because just like the brain is talking to the ovaries and the adrenals, it is also talking to the gut and the liver and the kidneys and all of the other organ systems that matter for our metabolic functions, such as detoxification, right? Breaking down everything that our body comes into contact with or makes, including hormones. And it's the pathways that estrogen gets broken down in, testosterone gets broken down in, that then determine our symptoms. So getting into that healing state really supports healthy detoxification patterns. We've seen this play out in multiple different avenues, but for example, this is not a brain directed thing, but when people take CBD oil, sometimes when they also have a backlog of their detox pathways, they actually start feeling detox type of symptoms, and they're like, but I'm not doing any. Some people have already done like the kind of the more traditional liver support stuff and know what detoxing feels like. And they're like, but I'm not doing it. And that is with that input, they get into parasympathetic mode enough that then the body elects to start doing those activities that it didn't do before. So you can see how that would then be, it would be determined by whatever that person had going on. So if it wanted to work on detoxing and couldn't, it may start that. If it was like, oh, hey, we need to sleep, someone may feel really tired. So this isn't about CBD. The input doesn't matter. You could do gargling, singing, humming, doing a cold shower, that kind of stuff, like the splashing cold water in your face to get into parasympathetic mode and have the exact same outcome, right? It's just the repetitive nature of encouraging the body to get into heal mode so that it can decide what it's going to work on. Ultimately, our bodies are very, very intelligent, and that's why when it comes to things to do, right, people are like, give me the, liquid chlorophyll is detoxifying. And we talk all about this, right? If you listen to season 1, that's what there's burdock root tea and dandelion root tea and liver castor oil liver compresses and dry skin brushing and rebounding. There's 1,000,010 ways to support the body in detoxing, which we love. We incorporate those too. And most people say, well, it can't be so easy that, I bring presence and calm into my life and the body starts healing on its own. But that is really, we have to look at our own belief structures of why do we believe it has to be that hard? That's not to say you don't do the physical activity and just sit around being like, I'm calm, I'm calm, I'm calm. But my point is that, don't discount something that sounds too easy because of the belief it has to be hard, because if we don't address the belief of it has to be hard, a la yesterday's episode, it's going to be hard. The brain will accomplish that task for you. It always will do what we're telling it to do. It's really good that way. It's a beautiful, beautiful listener. Right? So even if you're like, that can't be, that is an invitation to sit with that and just unpack that. Where else in your life do you feel like things have to be difficult for them to be effective? All right, so big questions today. When you're doing your sort of follow through for phase 3 and you're doing the activities and you're setting yourself for success, see maybe some sticky notes, maybe a reminder on your phone. How can you bring more presence and be more present in that activity? And a lot of times when you're doing that, keep a little notebook of what comes up, because once we see that there's gold there in the presence, like we're literally learning things about ourselves, you're off to the races then. It's going to be super fun next cycle when you can start to apply it. All right, have an amazing time. Join us for our Ultimate Hormone Health Blueprint. Go to zestyginger.com/hormone blueprint. It's a free 4-part training. It's going to be videos and then a live training. Don't miss out. We're having a bunch of bonuses. It's stuff we've never even done before, so make sure that you sign up. Join us. It starts September 7th, and we'll see you there. Lots of love.
Thanks for coming out to hang with us on the podcast. It is our goal to transform the way women are treated in healthcare, and we need your help. We need your help to get the word out. We have a lofty goal of 1 million downloads, and we know that as this podcast grows, we're going to be able to reach more women, get more amazing speakers for you, and bring the most cutting-edge information.
If you found these pod classes helpful, please take a moment to text 5 women you know the link to the series. We appreciate your help so much. Can't wait to see you next time.